Well, hi everybody. We're going to work some more on this Sony because one of the things I did not do to it is change the lights in it. And also, if you watched the last video on this radio, you know this meter is not working. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out the meter leads. I'm going to disconnect them from the meter and bring them out to the back where they can eventually be plugged into an external meter. And that's what this little plug is for. So before I take it all apart though, I think I'd like to test it again and see how the push buttons are holding up from the cleaning, because we're going to get another chance to clean them again. Let's see, I put everything in here. Okay, so here's some 8-volt light bulbs, two different types, a smaller little tiny bulb and a medium size bulb. So hopefully that's going to do it for us. Here's the cord. Okay. Volume down, switch on. So what I want to look at is these numbers here. If you can see them, let me this is 18270, and guess what? That's the setting of this control. That's good. When this control isn't working right, these numbers run wild, but they're right on right now. Fantastic. Let's change this. 8.2, right on. 18.2, 28.2. Oh, excellent. Excellent. The cleaning of this switch seemed to have worked fine. Okay, so we're good to go. We're good to go on the disassembly. Get my soldering iron warming up because we're going to need it. First we take the back off. Oh, like a lot of things, boy, doing it the second time around is a lot easier than the first time. That's for sure. And the other thing about these lights is I don't even know where they are in the radio. I mean, I saw one. There's a map light. Should be able to find that pretty easily. And then there's another light somewhere, probably lighting up the dials on the front, I would imagine. And I don't know where that is. Okay, so we're going to put the radio on it upside down here. Let this come off. Oh my gosh, I never did solder back the wires. Oh my gosh. The things I do forget. So goody goody that we What is that telling me? I did not solder back the antenna wires onto the back. And yet I took this radio and I put it through a whole bunch of tests. I know I soldered these back. I must have unsoldered them again. Oh well. Mysteries abound. Yeah, I'm the big mystery, that's for sure. Now, from here we have to get a bunch of screws that are right up at the front, which was a stretch for a lot of my screwdrivers. So this one I can get. this one I think I can get. Okay. That one there, I need my long flathead screwdriver to actually get out. Luckily the flathead fits into the Phillips star type head quite nicely. And then there were two up under here. That should be it for the front-facing screws. Let's see if we've got the front to come off. Oh, all the knobs got to come off. It's come off pretty easy. Go. Now the front panel should come off. So remember this corner being tight on it, not wanting to come off. Remember how I got it off. Was it like that? I think it was. Just pulled it off. There we go. Okay. So now the first light is in behind this meter. And the second light is down under here. And the third light is nowhere to be seen. Yikes. I'm sure there must be a light in here somewhere. I see nothing of it. So let's work on the ones we see. We're gonna want to take these wires off and extend them anyway. That's another project here. That's part of this. The light's in behind here. Didn't want to touch this last time. There we go. So now the light is quite exposed there. Yuck. Foam materials like this often are, they don't age very well. This one doesn't seem to be too bad. There it is. Now I can pop that board out and try to solder the new leads right into the board. Or I could cut and extend the wires. Depends on how easy it is to get that board to come out of there. There's lots of wires on it down here. Some wires here. I think we're better off cutting and extending the wires. That's what I think. And for sure, we're going to want to test this light before we go too far. Looks like a very good replacement, doesn't it? Looks very good. So to test it, we'll have to cut this one away. Let me just take a good close look and see if I can see the open element in it. Yeah, the element is completely burned away. It's just gone. So we will cut this with the most wire available in anticipation of having to redo this a few times. Now there's lots of room to pack extra wire away, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm not sure my strippers will do wires this small. Let's see. Oh, I think so. There we go. Okay, now this set's plugged in. No, it's not. Okay, plugged in now. And it's switched on. You can actually see the number here. So we'll try this out. Now these bulbs have a lower current rating than the bulb that was in there, so it really should be pretty fearless. There it is. It's not much light, is there? It's not much. You can't even see it that way. Let me hold it like this. So, no big thrill on this in terms of light, but better than nothing. So we'll cut this fairly short here. Some kind of mysterious cat activity going on in the background. I think one of my cats has jumped into the clothes washing machine. Hey, today there's a bit of snow on the ground here just outside Toronto. And it's pretty cold. It's must be -5 outside right now. Okay, turn the set off during this process. You'll need a little tubing. Shrink tubing would be best. I seem to have a habit of always picking a size too small. And then having lots of trouble getting it to slide over the connections and stuff like that, or having it shrink prematurely from heat going up the wire. What's catching this? There we go. I'll make the connections here. I think I have some frustrated cats in the house. I think that's what's happening. They're looking out the window, they're seeing the sunshine. It looks like a nice day out there. They did open the door for one. He just stood in the doorway and felt the cold air and decided, not gonna happen today. But the others, they don't realize how cold it is outside. Buoy on that. Okay. These wires are very fragile, and the shrink plastic will actually help the mechanical strength. I'm going to do these ones a little differently. Big fat fingers in there. That's good. Come on over it. There I go again with shrink tubing too small. There's one. All I would need is for this to break away from the board at this point. There's the other. Very good. We'll do a little shrinking on that. With my O2 powerful heat gun. Yeah, this is a very powerful heat gun. It's a little oversized for this purpose. Let's check. There we are. It's not much of a light, but hopefully it's good enough. Now the light sits right in here. Kind of like this. Oh. It's supposed to sit right in here. Okay, can't do everything at once here. Need new cameraman. It doesn't want to sit right where the other bulb was. Oh, that wasn't good. Gee. That plastic is just as weak as can be. But actually that's going to help. Didn't really need for that to happen. So I've just shattered the little plastic holder, but I think I can get this on here. Now the problem with this is it may be too bulky. Tie wrap may just be no physical space for it, so that's okay though. These are real cheap, and I can use all I want. Throw them away if they're no good. Well, we'll see. I have the feeling that's in an interference position. Let's see. The answer is no. It's good. I don't want these wires getting up and interfering with these crazy switches here. So they're very close to doing. We'll twist them a bit and take up some of the slack. Not much light. Now, item number 2, we will disconnect the meter here. And we'll be extending these wires out the back of the set. So I have to put the extension on yet. So let's pop the meter back in place, because we're going to leave the original meter here, of course. Because you need it to kind of fill the gap here. There it is. And that puts a little light down into this thing too. That's one done. Let's extend these wires next. So I think we'll use this kind of wire to do it. Put lots on right now. What do we care? Cut off the ratty ends. Make some new ends. cut off lots here so that you can take the back off. Okay, a little bit of shrink sleeve, please. Shall we color match? A little bit of black and a little bit of red? Hey, why not? That's a pretty small one. Let's give it a go. A little bit of black and a little bit of red. Okay, we'll slide those onto the wires before we forget. That's pretty easy to do. Forget, that is. Slide them up the wire far enough so they won't be affected by the heat from the solder. Take our wire here, you know. It's polarized wire. It's got a blue strip on one wire, so I'll put that on the positive here, even though, or on the red. I don't really know. That's a mess. Let's get a little more wire here. Just making my own work difficult here. Unnecessarily difficult. Oops. Solder that. Hey, I can put you right up here. I can do this. There we go. My camera seems to like to think about focusing a lot before it doesn't. That's pretty messy, eh? We'll trim that up. And hopefully we can get the shrink tubing over it. I trimmed these wires a little short too. I'm not doing anything here that's favorable. And once again, you who are watching the video are getting a better view of this than I am watching it with my eyes. And now you're not. But if I look up at the screen, I really can't continue. I can't, I have to look right at what I'm doing. There we go. And what I really need is little magnifiers on my glasses, which I actually have a set. Which I really enjoyed using, and then I broke them. And I haven't fixed them. So if I fix them, I'd be able to see better in here. I hope we can get the shrink over that. Now the whole idea of this, what I'm doing here, is to extend the wires that power the meter, so they're available at the back of the radio for an external meter. That's our intention with doing this. I guess using color-coded shrink wasn't the best idea, since the wire I'm connecting to isn't the right color. There we go. Huh. Okay, another shot of shrinking, please. There you have it. Shove that through the back of the radio here for now. And what happens if that gets tugged on hard? Good. There's the light inside there. Now, that's two things done. Light number 2, which I think is down under here. This looks a little strange. This is definitely the light. It's inside of a light filter sort of deal. I think we can take this one off here. I think this is the one that's clamping the piece on. Got some tape here too. Don't want to lose that. Some tape here that's probably intended to block light. And that didn't loosen anything. Uh-oh, this is not quite the light I thought it was. What's with all the complications? It's a light bulb. Come, it's got all this... Well, there's an on-off switch attached to the little door you open up. You open up this door and this light comes on, and then you can see your little notepad. That's the idea of this. Oh boy. This is not a good idea here. There it is. Holy smokes, what is going on with that? Oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? That's not at all what I was hoping to find. Turn camera view. It's like if you go too far beyond its focal range, it just doesn't even make an attempt. Well, this is an ugly thing to try to fix. What is going on here? Oh boy. You know what? It doesn't have to be fixed. It works, for crying out loud. What kind of a stupid move is this? Oh, I'm brainless. I'm brainless. I'm brainless. Jeepers. Creepers. Oh, what a dummy. Now I gotta get this back in here. Get that little switch to work again. Oh man. Dumb. I'm gonna actually post this video of me making this mistake. I pretty much post everything. It's very little. Some of the most boring stuff I don't post. I might come in and do like a 20 minutes of troubleshooting and really get absolutely nowhere. And there's a couple of those I haven't posted, but for the most part, I post every stupid thing I do. Alright. Oh man. What a stupid move. You know, I make as many problems as I solve. That's how things seem to me. What a dumb move. Now, I can't even understand how the mechanics work in there. Maybe this is part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. I got the camera sitting right on top of the magnet of the speaker. I'm curious as to whether that might mess it up. Well, I got it back together. Let's see if it works. Okay. Door working. And the light's working. Good for me. Not much stickiness left in this tape. Like that. Can't remember how it was exactly. More like that. Okay, well that's the second light, sort of not completely kind of done, but not necessarily so. And now the mysterious third light. The light I don't even know if it exists. Now I'm pretty sure it exists because I saw it on the schematic, 3 light bulbs, but they did not indicate where they were located in the in here. But if I were going to put another light bulb in here, it would certainly be on this. And there could be the front part of a light bulb right there. Just not sure that's... Sure looks like one, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, how do you get down into that? I think we have to pull the front out. And, oh boy, that's not very attractive looking, is it? The whole pile of mechanics involved in that, I imagine. Okay, what about an alternative location for a light? Well, we'd still need to power it from the light powering point. And who knows where that is? That could be... Maybe we can see that light from the back. I would wager pretty low odds on that, but let's take a look and see. see much of anything, let alone a light. Wow. Boy. Okay. We did have this partially apart before, and brought forward much of the radio out the front. Feeling. There we go. Pulling that off. I don't like that. I'm not even sure that's the light bulb. And it's not much of a light bulb either. Right there. I should make a closer observation. That's no light bulb, that's a shaft that this thing turns on. Or a screw. It's a screw head. That's no light bulb. If I were a light bulb, where would I be? Huh. If I were the third light bulb and I had nothing to do with this part, where would I be? Well, the camera focus is really annoying on this camera. Well, what's going on with these pieces? It's like they're put in place and then somebody with a soldering iron or something like that melts the plastic onto them. That's unusual. There's some more melted plastic parts, like welded, I guess would be the word for it. Well, I don't see any light. I see no light. Well, here's another way to look at it too. This white plastic piece here is like a light cowling, if you like. directing light. That means that light bulb should be down a little bit. Like that. So, is there another light directing cowling somewhere? I don't see one. Plus, when this front is put on, this piece comes into pretty close contact with this. It only opens up a very tight window. Projecting light into that window would not be easy. This is a solid metal plate here, if you like, that has the numbers on it. No light can come through from the back. Wow, is that completely true? Is there just a light in behind that? I don't think so. No, I looked at it on the back of from the back of the radio. It's a solid piece of metal, aluminum or something. Well, I'm going to see if I still have the schematic here and just take a peek at it. Okay, so no luck on finding the schematic, which I've put somewhere. I think what we'll turn our attention to now on this radio is the back of it here. That's good. Screws falling out of it here. Okay. So the objective of this is to put a little plug on the back. This is just an ordinary these are called quarter-inch plugs. So later we can make a little box with a meter on it and plug it into the back. So I need to mount this in here. Now then, here's a rather large, clear area. Right in this area here. That's a mighty thick piece of plastic, too. That might present a problem for us. So, just in looking at the back, very large, clear area. Where do the batteries go? Batteries go in from the top. So this really is quite clear. We can actually pick that spot right there. You want to go right through that sticker. Could go a little further over, miss the sticker, and come near this. Just fine to me. So we'll drill in right through here and we'll go through the sticker. Now I need the right size drill here. Where's the next size up? That's what I need. I need the next size up, and That's too small. I need a 1/4 inch drill. A 1/4 inch? That's a 1/4 inch. That looks too big. That'll do it. Okay. Should be pretty straightforward. And I'll just put a little starting dent in it if I can. Don't think I needed to do that. We'll just drill right through on my bench, and I can vacuum up after. Pretty soft plastic. Pretty darn thick. Oh man, might just be too thick for this. Let's see what happens. Son of a gun. This one won't work. Oh boy. Look at that. Just gets on there. Well, I think I can do it with that. It's pretty tight. But there's a small collar of plastic around this, and maybe if I countersink this hole out, it'll sink down just another millimeter and provide me with just a little more thread to screw the coupling on, screw on the nut. There. I'll take my biggest drill here. I'll just countersink this. It's not that much bigger than the hole. Holy smokes, let go of that. That almost went right through. Almost pulled itself right through. Wow. That was close. That's because this drill's never cut anything before. It's as sharp as can be. Ooh, I hope that did it. Oh yeah, look at that. Good show. Now, guess we got to turn the radio right around here. Now we just need to connect this guy to the connector. Now if this was my own radio, this is exactly what I'd be doing. I would give up on... The meter is very important to get proper use out of this radio. You need a signal strength meter. It's really helpful. So I'd be doing this too. In fact, for me, I might just bring wires right out and hook them up to a meter, which would be a little inconvenient, as opposed to going through a plug like this. There's another thing about doing a plug like this is if the person who owns it should sell it, want to engage the switch part of this. So there's a shorting switch in here. When nothing's plugged in, there's a switch that will short out the leads if that's what you want, and in many applications that is what you want. Not in this one though. We don't want to short those leads out. That would be bad. Whether it would actually harm the radio or not is hard to say, but it's certainly not been designed to have a short at that point. So you can assume the designers did not anticipate a short occurring at the meter, any more than they anticipated shorts occurring all over the place in the radio when they designed it. So if we do this wrong and we do set up a short, we might be setting up a subsequent failure in something like a transistor or a resistor or something like that. There we go. So the first thing we're going to do is check this to make sure it's not shorted. That's the sound of a short. We should not hear it, but we should hear it here. We should not hear it here. That's right. Yeah, if you're fiddling around with one of these, you can just look inside, and if you look at it hard enough, you'll figure out what they've done, how they've made a switch in there and all that stuff. So there we go. That was pretty straightforward. Now we'll just stick it in here and put the go? Oh no. Uh-oh. That's kind of crummy. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Well, that's a bit of an annoyance. I have to hunt down that nut which I have dropped or missed. Okay, so it didn't take long to find the missing piece. It was right here in front of me the whole time. So, it was never missing. Once again, I am the cause of my problems. Repeat after me. We are the cause of our problems. There we go. Oh, that goes on there nice. I guess there's a special screwdriver that you can use on these. I certainly don't have one. It'd be more like a nut driver, I guess. There we go. That's pretty solid. There we are. Time to reassemble, I think. Okay. That's why I put the long wire on there. Clever of me, eh? Really thinking ahead there, Jim. Now, let's see if we can get this back on. Okay. It's like my favorite word. Okay. This is a perch I haven't used for quite a long time. Camera perch. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna put back these screws that hold the front panel on. 4, 5 of these guys. Don't shake. Don't shake. Shake right into the hole. How about that? Right in there. magnetic screwdriver is just barely magnetic enough. Oh, I don't think this is going to work. There we go. 2 more left and they go in here. Go. And the last front panel screw. There we are. Now we're going to do the back panel. Have to solder these wires. So I'm going to put this like this. I'm going to flip the radio over like so. Slide this back in place. Put the radio on its face here. And in goes 5 more screws. And just getting each screw to seat. Screw them in. This thing will run on an external supply of 9 volts. Kind of odd that it takes 9 volts and a power plug right beside it. Because obviously if you've got AC power to run your 9 volt power supply, you can plug the thing in the wall. If it was 12 volts, then I would say, aha, they're anticipating somebody running this in a vehicle. Just a little odd there. Why you would ever run it on a 9 volt power supply. So let's test this guy out, and I think we're done with him. Except to put all the knobs back on. There he goes. You gotta come down this way and enjoy the light here. Enjoy the light. Just darken my shop a little bit. Drum roll. And ta-da! Hey, pretty nice. That's really pretty nice. Still completely dark here and dark here. And a little map light, which is pretty hard to see like that. Let's turn that right off. There you are. Now you can see the map light, which looks very bright in my camera. It's not nearly as bright with the eyeballs, but pretty nice. Too bad about the meter. Hey, let's hear this thing. Let's put on FM. Great, now I don't want to get in trouble with this video like I have with the previous video, in which I did all the spraying of the contacts and cleaning all the contacts, which is really quite similar to what I just did now, putting in the light bulb, because pretty much it's taking it apart. I go a little further in the other video and I pull out the guts a little bit to get at the switch that needs cleaning. And somewhere along the line there, although I certainly don't hear it, a copyright infringement has supposedly happened. So that video is out of circulation until the copyright claimant responds to my comment that his claim is false. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that video. Maybe I'll never post it in the end, because if the claimant comes back and says, yes, I am reasserting my claim that you've got copyrighted material in your video, then I'm not sure I can ever post it. I'm still trying to figure out the rules here on this kind of stuff. Let's put the knobs in and we'll get the finished look. turn that all the way to one way so I know which way to put this knob on. Okay. The rest of these, I think, are all the same. They all have pointers, do they? No pointer. Pointer, pointer, pointer. So where does a no pointer knob go on the pre-selector? And the rest are pointered knobs. So I make sure the pointer's in the right place. Okay. Perfect. Volume's down. Treble at max. Bass at max. That's pretty exciting watching me put knobs back on the radio, eh? But there it is. Finished for the second time. Lovely. And you know, the great thing about these lights is it makes it real obvious the radio is switched on too. Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching.